Okay, Algebra 1A and Algebra A, this is our last part of our review section of getting ready for Chapter 1. After this video, you will be encouraged to do your homework assignment that goes along with this, okay? So, our last part that we're going to be doing is reviewing adding and subtracting fractions. Our directions say to find the sum or difference. Our first problem that we have is 4/7 plus 3/14. Now, I'm hoping that some of you guys do remember the long way of going about this, the way before calculators were introduced to you. However, again, since we were in Algebra 1 and Algebra 1A, I am totally fine with you of using a calculator on this. And an easy way of doing that, again, since we discussed fractions earlier in the previous section, I can hit 4 ABC 7 plus 3 ABC 14, and I can get my answer as 11/14. Okay, so our second example that we have on here is going to be 6 2/3 minus 5 5/6. 6 2/3 and 5 5/6 is actually a mixed number. Why would 6 2/3 and 5 5/6 be classified as a mixed number? If you said that because there's a whole parts to these fractions, you are totally correct. The fact that the 6 is in front of the 2/3 means that we have 6 whole things and then 2/3 of another. Okay, same thing with the 5 5/6. We actually have 5 whole things and then 5/6 of another. Okay, so that's what makes it a mixed number. Again, I can plug this into the calculator, or I could do it in longhand. I can say 6 ABC 2 ABC 3. Notice the dash. When there's a dash there, like a underscore, the underscore means that number to the left of it is a whole number. Therefore, this is reading this as a mixed fraction. It is reading as 6 2/3. So we can do minus 5 ABC 5 ABC 6. Again, when I look at this, with this dash there, it is telling me that it is reading it as 5 5/6. That 5 is a whole number. And if I press equals, I get 5/6. Okay, so go ahead and try out the next one. The next one that we have is 7 1/5 plus 3/10. Go ahead and write out 7 1/5 plus 3/10. Pause the video and tell me what the sum of these fractions are. Okay, assuming you plugged it into the calculator, you should have came up with 7 1/2. And again, plugging it into the calculator, I can do 7 ABC 1 ABC 5. That is going to read it as 7 1/5 plus 3 ABC 10. That gives me 7 1/2. Notice that the 7 is the whole number because it is to the left of the underscore. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw out a couple terms to you. Improper fractions and mixed numbers. This is the last part of the review. This is just to remind you of what's going on. A improper fraction is when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So like 7/3. 7/3 is an improper fraction. Same thing as 32/5. That is an improper fraction because the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator, which is the bottom number. The mixed numbers that go with this are 2 1/3. That goes with the 7/3. And 6 2/5 goes with the 32/5. Well, how is that possible? Okay, well, let's look at this. I can plug it into my calculator. I can say 7 divided by 3, because isn't the division bar the exact same, or actually, better yet, I can hit 7, ABC, 3, and it'll 7, ABC, 3, and it'll automatically tell me that this is going to be 2 and 1/3. Most calculators will change it over. If your calculator does not change it to a mixed number, please let me know. Also, some calculators will even go backwards. They will go backwards from 2 and 1/3 to an improper fraction. They'll go from a whole number to an improper fraction. I am honestly not familiar with how to do this on this one, but I have a really nice little cheat sheet, a cheat way of doing this. I'm going from a mixed number to an improper fraction, and I call it the check mark, because it is. It is a check mark. I can take a check mark and put it over my mixed number. What this tells me is, like, this part is part of a multiplication sign. So what this is saying, hey, I need to take 6 times 5. And then this part, the top part of, the top part of the check mark, is kind of like an addition sign. It's part of an addition sign. So what that's saying is, I need to add 2. So what's 6 times 5? 30. Plus 2 equals 32. And then my denominator would stay the same. That's how I can go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Let's check this one out. Use the check mark on here. If I use the check mark on here, then again, I take what times what? Good. 2 times 3, because this is part of the multiplication symbol. So 2 times 3, and then this is part of what symbol? The addition. So I can add 1. Well, what's 2 times 3 plus 1? Well, that's 7. And again, my denominator will stay the same, so it's going to be 7/3. That's just an easy way of going from a mixed number to an improper fraction, if you don't know how to use your calculator on that. And honestly, this is how I use going from mixed numbers to improper fractions, because this, to me, is easy. I'll be very honest with you, and when I was in school, I didn't know about this until my first year teaching. My boss came in and said, hey, look, we're working on mixed numbers and improper fractions, and he said check mark. And I was like, wait, what? He said check mark. Check mark is a great way of changing a mixed number to an improper fraction because of the symbols that go along with it, partial symbols. This is partially multiplication, so I can put a multiplication sign in here. 2 times 3, this is possibly part of an addition sign. I can finish putting an addition sign on there, plus 1. And then using PEMDAS, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, so this concludes our review on things. What you need to do now is you need to work on your worksheet. All of these notes that you did on part 1 through 6, you need to have in your binder, and they need to be in order, okay? This will help you stay organized. If you want to, go ahead and put page numbers on them. That will help you stay organized when it comes to notes that are multiple pages. That is totally fine. Whatever you need to do in order to stay organized, then you need to do it. You need to make that change. So work on that assignment, and we'll go from there. All right. I hope you guys have learned a little bit something with this review, or at least it has refreshed your memory. If not, please raise your hand, and we will try to find more ways to refresh your memory on these topics. All right. Have a great day.